Hey, this is Brian Godfrey. This is my final project presentation. I wanted to start out by talking about arrays and array lists and enums. And I guess a good place to demonstrate that in my own program was our inventory items. And let me scroll down here. As you can see right here, for the items that we were going to have in our actual inventory, we decided to actually create those and put those as an enum. We liked that idea because it was easy to call upon those things later to use them in the program and to call and see if they were in the inventory or if the player still needed to actually go and get those items and put them in the inventory. The next thing that we wanted to show you was a for statement for items in an array. And let me find that. Let's see here. Yeah, right here. Sorry about that. So I just created just a little simple test case just to kind of show you what that would look like. A class that's called array test. Essentially what this is saying here is it's saying we've created a for statement to call and check how many items are in the inventory. So if we go down here, it's saying keep checking how many items are in the inventory, and then we would be able to go in and edit this, and we can check to see how many items a person has, how many they lack, that kind of a thing. This was beneficial in our game because the player needed a certain amount of items, certain items and a certain amount of experience to actually get to the end of the game and complete it. And so that's where this comes in really handy for that type of a thing right there. Character stream versus bit stream. From everything I was able to find out from reading the textbook, from doing some online research, the simplest that I was able to condense it down to was a character stream is when you need to use characters. I was looking online and I found a really good example of somebody saying, well, if I want to be able to write to or pull from, say, a Microsoft Word document, wouldn't I want to use character stream? And the person wrote them back and said, well, you would think so because there are characters within the document. However, the way the actual document is saved as a file is in bits. And so if you wanted to actually pull from that, you'd have to have that saved as a bit stream. And so that's kind of important. If you are going to be using actual characters, then it does have to be a character stream. And that was a pretty simple way that I found that kind of helped me understand it a little bit better. As far as getting character data to an external file, this is just some example code that I came up with. It isn't really made to be implemented into the game at all. I just kind of came up with it. You'd want to use some sort of the system.out. There's a couple other ways you can do it too. They're a little bit more complicated because you actually have to create a file first. So you have to actually have Java code to create a file, and then after that you have to have the function that will tell what is to be written to that file. So that one was a little bit more complicated. We could do it if we needed to. In this example, though, all we really wanted to do is just have the system either print something out, or I guess if we really wanted it to, then we could save it to an external file. And that's kind of an example here in this code right here. Lastly, unfortunately, I'm not able to demonstrate the game at all. There were some last-minute changes that me and my partner have been doing on the game, and it's not functioning for some reason because of that, and we are still trying to figure out why. I'm hoping that by the end of it, when you go onto GitHub and actually pull our game, it will be functioning by then, because we had it functioning up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we started doing all this stuff with the map, and we had a lot of struggle getting the map to implement and to work. We're still working on that. It's been a little frustrating because we had it working perfectly up until the map, and then we even went and met with the tutor to try to figure out what was going on, and we're still having some struggles. But if nothing else, both myself and my group member Joel, we have learned a lot in making this, especially the collaboration with our peers, and we do understand the principles that go into, building this sort of a game now. And honestly, I think that was probably the most important thing for both of us. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it.